Good afternoon, everybody. We are back talking about Harvey Montgomery. This case makes me so mad because it's not the only case that ticks me off, but it's definitely in my top 10. Between Kayla and Adam, they know what has happened to Harmony, or they have some knowledge. Adam, for sure. Kayla knows a lot more than she has been saying. I'm going to go through and see who's in here. Thanks, guys, for coming back. Let's see. Single Mama 4, hello. Also just became a new member. Magoo, hello. Serena, hello. Gaelic. Lone Wolf. Just Me, Preschool Granny, Aggie, Kayla. Nisa, what's up, Nisa? There's our friend Kat, who was out feeding her cats. Juicy Tequila Bobo. Why is this going so fast? I feel like an idiot. Deb, hello. Preschool Granny, November Day. Hope everyone's doing good. There's Bea Shiner. How are you? There's Dr. Clark. Outlaws in the house. So before we get started, I'm going to go through some comments from the last show. Do you think Kayla Montgomery knows what happened to Harmony? Yes or no? Hi, Connie. I have a very hard time believing she has no idea. A very hard time. Kathy says it's warm in Maine. Wow. Hi, Life Chaos. Razor, yes. Yes. She's married to the man. She told her mother that Harmony went to live with her biological mother, Crystal. We know that's not true. And we know a lot of things that Crystal said in her attempts to find Harmony are not true as well, because it's in the governor's report from New Hampshire. And I should have covered this several days ago. Got caught up with the manhunt in Alabama. That's been insane and crazy and hysterical at times. Kayla is out of jail now. She made bail. Mind you, it was supposed to be a $5,000 cash bond, but she's out. We're going to get to that in a second. Let's go through some comments. First, I'm going to bring up Outlaw Trucker. How are you today, my friend?
Not doing too bad, Brooks. How are you?
Pretty good. Is it hot where you're at?
Yeah, just a little bit. She's pushing about 87 degrees here in the fine state of Texas.
Yeah, it's 85 here. But I'm telling you, I think it was Monday. Heat index of 99. Again, I said, why don't you just say 100?
That is true. You might as well.
Just call it 100. Because, I mean, like, I'm looking at the sky cam right now on my TV, and you can see a haze over the city. It's hot. And I'm not acclimated to it yet. It'll take me a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm not used to it either. And it's like the humidity and the thickness of the moisture and all that hitting the skin. It's like, I'm not ready for it.
No, I call it air you can wear.
Yep.
All right, let's get to some comments from the last show. You ready, Outlaw?
Sure, why not? Let's go for it.
Let's do it. Soul for Sale said, of course they didn't report her missing. These were drug addicts that needed the state benefits to afford the drugs. These are your tax dollars at work. Agreed. There is a reason besides one of the two of them's own wrongdoing they did not report Harmony missing. What do you think, Lone Wolf? I'm not Lone Wolf, sorry, Outlaw. I just read
What's
his
that?
comment about the comment.
Oh, kind of caught me off guard, so I'll pass on that right now.
Robin said, these people know how to play the system, a system that's broken. When recommendations are made, they normally stay as recommendations. The public see that something is being done and get on with their lives. It's unfortunate that ego is involved between states, counties for laws, not all to be the same. Working together with law enforcement and courts for the welfare of children. I think the two jailbirds are protecting themselves because the law in prison is harsh and they find out you have harmed a child. Why now has Crystal finally come forward? Many people in services blaming each other in harmony, like Summer is forgotten. I agree with this 100%. Now, on this channel, neither Harmony or Summer are forgotten, and Robin didn't mean us. So, obviously, to save their own skin, they're not going to say anything, and they have a lot harder time in jail when a child is involved in their crime. What do you think?
That is true. I do agree with that 100%.
Mm-hmm. I do too. So now, what do you think about Kayla getting out of jail?
That one's touchy. I mean, it can go either way, but in my gut feeling that they're going to keep an eye on her and watch her movements and all that to see if they do lead her to Harmony.
Yeah, and she's got to go to, I believe, the police station every day in person. They're going to want her drug tested. I wouldn't be surprised if they want her tested every day. And while on the outside, as criminals call it, I have a feeling she's going to talk to someone and more things are going to come out. It's only natural that she's going to talk to people.
Certain ones, yeah.
Certain ones. I don't know where she's staying. Now, I do talk to a friend of her mom's. I don't think she even knows where she's staying. I can't imagine her mom letting her come live with her since she is taking care of her children. And considering what she's involved with, whether it's just by association or she's clear or if she's really involved with Harmony's disappearance, I can't imagine her mom putting the kids at risk by letting her come around, but I don't know.
Until this is all cleared up, her mom has the right idea to keep her away from the children and everything else until it's all cleared up.
Yep. All right, I'm going to play a clip real quick. Hold on.
Go right ahead.
All right. Hang on. Bob has a question. Is this that certain mother of a missing child that a certain YouTuber went to go visit and have a rendezvous with? I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that one's way off topic and way off subject on that one.
Oh, okay. It has nothing to do with Harmony.
Nothing to do with Harmony.
Missing New Hampshire girl has been offered a chance to get out of jail. A judge issued an order granting bail for Kayla Montgomery yesterday. She's accused of falsely collecting welfare benefits meant for her stepdaughter Harmony and is facing fraud and firearms charges. Kayla will have to check in daily at the Manchester Police Department, get treatment for substance abuse, and she cannot travel outside of New Hampshire. She's also forbidden to have contact with her husband, Adam. Harmony Montgomery has been missing since 2019. She vanished while in her father's custody. Stepmother of a missing New Hampshire girl has been offered a chance to get out of jail. A judge issued an order granting bail for Kayla Montgomery yesterday. She's accused of falsely collecting welfare benefits meant for her stepdaughter, Harmony.
Okay, right there. I'm replaying it. You know how I do. Did she just sit there long enough that they had to go ahead and grant her bail, or is she cooperating? Did she start cooperating with them, and so they granted bail because it was a cash bond of 5,000? Nobody has got 5,000 for Kayla's ass. What do you think, Outlaw?
That's what I'm thinking. She has cooperated with them, not did a plea deal or something to actually sweeten it up a little. So yeah, she's got law's attention on this one.
I mean, because her crime is, we know that she was collecting welfare benefits on Harmony from November of 2019 till June of 2021. It comes up to roughly $1,500. So she has sat in jail for this. Not that I'm sympathizing with Kayla, since January. So it's got to be one or the other. Did she sit there long enough to pay that off? Is she cooperating? What is going on here? And who hawked up the money to get her out? Now, if we hear from the news clip, we're going to hear it again. She has to check in every day. She's got to get help for substance abuse. Well, who's going to pay for that, New Hampshire? Looks like your tax dollars will. Because Kayla doesn't have Blue Cross Blue Shield.
No.
And is facing fraud and firearms charges.
Now, the firearms charges against her and Adam, that's another reason I'm wondering why they let her out. Is this some kind of tactic by law enforcement to see who she talks to? And as far as her getting a hold of Adam, she already broke that once before, but they're still letting her out. You see where I'm going?
They're up to some type of tactic. Not sure where they're going with it, but they're up to something.
Because, like I said, as criminals call it, while on the outside, of course, she's going to discuss the elephant in the room, which is her stepdaughter is missing and has been missing since the end of November 2019.
That is true.
Kayla will have to check in daily at the Manchester Police Department, get treatment for substance abuse, and she cannot travel outside of New Hampshire. She's also forbidden to have contact with her husband, Adam. Harmony Montgomery has been missing since 2019. She vanished while in her father's custody. Stepmother of a missing.
Why would she want to have contact with Adam? They broke up. He was living in a car with another woman.
That is true.
It's a sad day in America when you get kicked out of the car and he moves another woman into the car.
Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to let you take over, and I'll be right back. Give me about 7 minutes. I just got to get a fuel receipt, and I'll be right back.
No problem. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is some kind of tactic by law enforcement? But somebody had to pay this. I go back to what Brian Enton said. We talk about him a lot on here. Manchester Police Chief says if Adam or Kayla Montgomery want to talk to detectives at any time, the door is open. He says even if it's 2 a.m., they will make it happen. They could even qualify for the reward depending on the info they share about Harmony Montgomery's whereabouts. Well, they haven't shared that because Harmony is still missing. But now Kayla's out. Kayla is out of jail. She is out of jail. Preschool Granny. I read she still loves him. I wouldn't doubt it. Come on. Yeah, she probably does. Can you just imagine the cat fight when she realized another woman was in her passenger seat, literally in the car they've been living in? Yeah. So we've got that going on, and I want to go back to Crystal's sister talking to the news about the sighting of Harmony. Now, mind you, she's going off what her sister told her, which sounds like a big load of BS to me. If it's true, law enforcement would have changed the timeline. I know in the Summer Wells case, a lot of people say, I don't think she went missing on the 15th. I think she went missing on the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And I always say, could be. Anything's possible and nothing shocks me anymore. Well, it does shock me, but you know what I mean. And I say, but until law enforcement says on or about that day, then I just kind of look at that day. Same with Harmony. They're saying the end of November 2019, but the aunt is telling a different story. Hold on one moment. She looks like she is definitely got something going on. Doesn't look like she took extra vitamins that day. There's something else going on. So bear with me, okay? I call it whatever you want.
I'm back.
Hello, Outlaw. Lee Clark said, woo, she is surprised. Is that a surprise look or a I just did a line look? I don't know. Like I said, you be the judge.
There's people that have come forward and said that they've seen Harmony in 2020.
Okay. Had to pause it right there. I realized I just started it. There are people that have come forward that said they saw Harmony in 2020. Then why hasn't law enforcement changed the timeline and said she was last seen in January, February, March, April of 2020? They still say November of 2019. Seems to me Crystal is spinning more tales. What do you think, Outlaw?
Yeah, she's spending more headway of lies than actually telling the truth.
And it seems that the sister believes her enough that she's reporting this to a reporter outside of her apartment when she's clearly not in the best state of mind. These are all lies.
They either hugged her or given her something.
The aunt of Harmony
They've either hugged her or given her something. Hang on.
Or given her something.
The aunt of Harmony Montgomery says Harmony's mom 2 weeks ago met with an employee of a New Hampshire dollar store.
Okay, back to that. Investigator Crystal, you just happened to come across an employee of a dollar store that happened to see Harmony and remembers all this. Does that make sense?
No, I don't.
I mean, talk about your good luck. You not being a detective, not knowing your ass from a hole in the ground, also not knowing how to tell the truth because, Crystal, you've been caught lying several times, just happened to stumble across a dollar store employee that saw your missing daughter. Woo! I can't get enough.
Where the child secretly warned the clerk that Adam and his wife, Kayla Montgomery, changed the girl's name.
She whispered to the lady, she said, "My name's Harmony." I'm sorry, it just makes me upset to think about it. And
So why is the employee not on the news telling this or telling the police? Why is it Crystal's sister?
That is true. And then right there, how she looked at the news media and looked down, she can't even tell the truth because right now we could catch her on the lie that she did lie to the news media.
Well, you can lie to the news media all day. Can't lie to the police.
Nope.
So, Crystal, you've been interviewing dollar store employees, yet you never made the trip to go find your daughter from April of 2019 up until December of 2021. But now you're Inspector Clouseau interviewing dollar store employees. I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it either.
No. So Harmony tells this employee her name is Harmony, but they're making her change her name. I don't care your intelligence, where you're from, anything. That would require any adult to give pause and call the police. Now, also, this would have been a very important tip. If it didn't rattle your cage that day, I can't imagine, this would have been a very important tip when Harmony went missing. If a child told you her real name is Harmony, but her father is making her use another name, to call Manchester Police. The number's on the screen. Call Manchester, New Hampshire, 603-203-6060 to report tips. That'd be a pretty good tip, don't you think?
Yeah, and right there, a lot of the Dollar General employees are trained. If they see something, they do have to call the cops and the law to get them there. But they didn't act on it as a suspicious character.
Sounds like this never happened, along with other things Crystal has said. But now she's got her sister doing her dirty work.
And it just stuck to her.
The family went to police.
She was shaken up.
Hang on.
And it just stuck to her.
The family went to police.
It just stuck to her. She never called the police because this didn't happen. Where is the make-believe employee? Which dollar store are we talking about?
What street? What side of town?
Yeah, where? How did Crystal, with zero investigative skills, come across someone that saw her daughter after her disappearance in November of 2019 that changes the entire timeline now? Because now we're into a different year. Even though it's just by a few months. How?
Shaken up. She was scared. She was nervous. She was, crying.
The store encounter was early 2020. The store employee now keeps in touch about the missing Harmony.
And Adam.
With who? With who? Because the New Hampshire police did not know about this when this clip came out. They did not know. Who is the employee keeping up with? Hell, for all we know, the aunt's the employee. We don't know.
It could have been the boss of the store. Who knows? I mean, we don't know the name, don't know who or where. So right now, there's just a speculations.
Hang on. Mary. There are thousands of dollar stores. How did she find that store and that employee? Exactly. You found that store, that employee that happened to see your daughter on a day where she decided to confess to a total stranger, even though Harmony is known to be very shy, that her name is Harmony, but they're telling her to use a different name, yet you couldn't find your own daughter. You couldn't lay eyes on your daughter from 2019 to 2021, but you just came across that store? No.
Something's driving right.
Oh, Crystal. All right, so there's Teardrop. Harmony and Adam came to the store and told the lady to stop asking questions. So now we've changed already in the middle of this. Harmony volunteered the information. This lady, this pretend lady in this pretend story, in this pretend store, and pretend scenario, and pretend day, did not out of the blue ask Harmony, is your real name Harmony, or are they making you use a fake name? Harmony volunteered this information. Then Adam comes back into the store and says, stop asking her questions. Doesn't seem like Teardrop would go back into the store and make a fuss about something when he stays under the radar. What do you think?
Yeah, he knows he's in so much trouble and all that. He doesn't want any more heat and all that. So yeah, he's going to stay under radar and not cause a grief or any type of panic on the situation.
Do you guys think this really happened or not? Because I do know someone that called the police in Manchester. They had no idea about this sighting. None. So do you think this is something that Crystal is spinning and got her sister to regurgitate? Lovely, by the way she did it on the news. Is this real or not? Are we back to Crystal Fantasyland? Because we got crystal meth, teardrop, step meth. They've all got something going on. Yeah, Nisa said, hell no. Hell no. No. Come on. Be a shiner, not a whiner said, drug addicts lie, but Crystal's in recovery.
They do.
But Crystal's in recovery, you know. She's our champion. She's, you know. Hang on. I missed Deborah's comment. Let me see. No, I missed another. Hang on. Give me a second. Scrolling back up. Life chaos. Wouldn't it be crazy to find out Adam in fact drove Harmony to Crystal the whole time and she did something to her? Never know, because all the lies that are coming out. No, I'm telling you, I've thought about it too. He could have been like, here, I can't take care of her. It's not like these two are going to make a meeting and go to court and do things the proper way. It could very well that he could have taken her to Crystal. I don't know. I think our friend Maria's in here. I just saw her name pop up. All right, I'm getting off track.
Yeah,
Mary, exactly. Where is the fantasy store, Crystal? Where's the fantasy store? What dollar store? What employee? And the employee stays in touch. The pretend employee stays in touch with Crystal. Because I'm telling you for a fact, when Manchester police were called after this clip came out, they had no idea about this. None. Good grandma says Crystal has been on my radar as well. Okay.
Came to the store and told the lady, stop asking questions to my family. So that's the last tip we've got so far. But like, they named her Ansley. They kept saying her name was Ansley. And she said, my name is Harmony. And she whispered it to the lady.
Reacting to that scathing Office of Child Advocate report, Harmony's mother texted News Center 5. For me, it just...
This is why I think Crystal is behind this rumor. Besides the fact she told her sister she came across this dollar store and this employee. So is she just walking around random stores saying, have you seen this little girl? I don't know, because she didn't do it from Easter of 2019 until December of 2021, but now she's got all the info. Read that text on the screen. For me, it just goes to show how badly they failed my daughter. Who's they, Crystal? Are you not in the group? Sounds like you failed her too. Why do you keep pointing fingers at everybody else? And it's odd that she comes up with the name Ansley, because Crystal follows the Summer Wells case and Ansley Daniels is the main reporter on it. You think that's a coincidence, Outlaw?
I'm going to go with 50-50, but it's slim, but it is a coincidence. I will state that.
For me, it just goes to show how badly they failed my daughter. I never missed a visit. That is not true, and that is in the governor's report. She didn't even return phone calls to CPS. That was not a good idea. He is a violent person. I agree. Adam is a violent person. When you point the finger, the old saying goes, there's four pointing. They're pointing back at you. I think Crystal is stepping in quicksand.
Yep.
Life chaos. And if Crystal is behind the rumor, then why'd she start it? There has to be a reason. I don't know. I understand trying to keep the story out there. That's for sure. Why she keeps putting certain spins on things, I don't know. I really don't. It's not that law enforcement isn't working on this, but I mean, clearly, the story is, according to her sister, that she came across this employee that saw Harmony. Harmony tells this employee that her name is Harmony, but they're making her call herself Ansley. And it just gets more bizarre. Yet, the timeline is still she's been missing since November 2019. This supposedly happened in 2020. Crystal is trying to control the narrative. You're right, good grandma. You're right. This is BS.
Just goes to show how badly they failed my daughter. I never missed a visit. Child custody to Adam, that was not a good idea. He is a violent person.
The lady paid for like a Halloween costume or something that Harmony wanted, and
the lady paid for the Halloween costume or something that Harmony wanted. Okay, so now we have yet another witness to Harmony, not just the employee, but I guess another customer in the store that bought a Halloween costume in early 2020. My calendar says Halloween is October 31st. So early 2020. Now, when people use words like early or late, you can be more specific. Is early 2020 January, February, early March? What do you think, Outlaw? Do you buy Halloween costumes in January?
No. Usually about 3 or 4 weeks ahead of October 31st before Halloween comes around.
Yep, and usually the clearance Halloween costumes are put up before Thanksgiving. Was it like a dress-up costume? I mean, girls would be like, they see, like the dresses and, crowns and stuff like that. But she said it's a Halloween costume. Again, no specifics. What was the Halloween costume? What was she dressing up as?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we don't buy Halloween costumes in January.
No, because all Dollar General stores, they're getting ready for the spring and Easter and all that, and they'll take the Halloween stuff right at in towards mid-December and all that.
Oh, exactly. Right after Christmas, they're getting Valentine's stuff out.
Yeah.
A Halloween costume. You see, this is why these people drive me insane. Deborah Wallace, you have amazing points in here. I am loving it. If you want to grab the link, I'll put it up in a second. Thank you, Life Chaos. Mary, Crystal did say she feels Harmony is still alive and Teardrop sold her. Possibly deflection. Possibly, Crystal. As you can tell where we're going right now, Crystal, it's not going to work out in your favor.
No, it's going to come back and bite you.
Yep.
Kayla wouldn't get it for her. Whatever we need to do.
Because Kayla wouldn't get it for her. No one is saying Kayla is Mother of the Year at all, but it's okay to tell your kids no in the store. All right? I've done it. One of my children started screaming fire one time because I didn't get him what he wanted in the store. So you're telling me that this random stranger, because Kayla said no about a Halloween costume in January, February, early March, stepped up and said, "Oh, let me buy it. Let me buy it. Let me buy it." And then Adam comes back in the store and says, "Don't ask my family any questions." And all the midst of this is when Harmony finds a store employee and tells them her name is Harmony, but they make me call myself Ansley. Crystal? Another whopper.
Just, we're holding out hope she's still here, and we just can bring her home to a safe space where everybody loves her.
We just want to bring her home to a safe space where everyone loves her. Why didn't she have that before 2019? Aunt, you've got your door open. Did you not have a place for Harmony? Crystal, we understand you were struggling with drugs and addiction. There was nothing you could do to provide better for Harmony? What do we have going on here? What do you think, Outlaw?
There's something mysteriously wrong with this picture. It just tells me that, like, how she speaks is her cooking the same way. That not that good. That's like how she presents herself and all that. Yeah, it leaves a mysterious question.
Oh, I've got a lot of mysterious questions. Okay, so in cases like this, like Oakley Carlson, like Summer Wells, it's really, really disturbing to me when they remove children from the home and they can't find one family member fit to take care of them. They can't find one. So why, if the aunt is so wonderful, wants to give her a loving home and everything, why didn't she do it in 2019 or before 2019 when everything went down and Harmony was in foster care?
Yeah, that's kind of serious. Why didn't they put up a fight then to try to get her back?
Yeah, you wait for her to go missing? Yeah.
Something ain't adding up.
Okay, Marie said Kayla broke it off with Adam. I don't blame her. She said that's why he was living in a car with someone else. And that woman is dead now. She's dead.
Yep.
Anywhere Adam goes, trouble follows. Anywhere. But I tell you what, this story that Crystal came up with, well, her name is Crystal Story, makes me so damn mad. Why are you mucking things up for law enforcement that are trying to find your daughter unless you don't want her found, Crystal? Why? Any thoughts?
Right now, I'm only thinking that she's throwing 8 balls in the mix to try to off-road this case. What I'm thinking.
I mean, the only reason to make up rumors and get, people looking at dollar stores and changing the timeline is for a reason. Aaron, have you seen Kayla messages to Adam of I love you? I did hear about that. Aaron, I've got the link up if you want to grab it. Yeah, and she also wasn't supposed to contact him before, and she did.
Yep.
Give me 1 second. I've got another clip to put up.
All right. One thing about us truckers, we never stop working.
Always working. Okay, Aaron said on hold, but I will in a sec. Okay, good. Because now we're going to another part of Harmony's story, and that is obviously there were some failures with the child protection services in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. And so a child advocate spoke out last week, and we're going to talk about this. And the best one to speak about it is Erin, and she is a rock star. Not saying you're not, Outlaw, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Asks Harmony's legal representation and the decision to award custody to her father without an interstate agreement in place.
Our Kathy Curran has been digging into the failures of this case for months. She joins us live right now, Kath.
And Ed and Maria, the child advocate found Harmony's safety and complex needs weren't prioritized in this case. She faults Harmony's lawyer, the DCF lawyer, and the decision by Judge Newman to rule on the case without having that interstate compact for putting Harmony at risk.
It's deeply, deeply troubling.
Child welfare advocate Maureen Flatley is frustrated at the continuing failures putting children at risk. Harmony Montgomery has been missing for more than 2 years. She spent most of her life in the custody of the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families. But in 2019,
she spent most of her life in foster care. We just saw the aunt. We just want to bring her home to a safe place. Why didn't she have a safe place before? Why was she with a foster family at all if you guys wanted her safe, cared for, taken care of? Come on.
Father Adam, a man with a criminal past who was living in New Hampshire, was granted custody.
The fact that anybody decided that it was a good idea to try to send her to the father was completely irresponsible.
The investigation by the Office of the Child Advocate cited multiple failures by the lawyers and judge involved in the case. Judge Newman, months ago.
Oh, there's the judge. I love when this reporter did this. Walks up to him and going in his house. He just runs his ass in the house. He won't answer any questions. Samantha, hi everyone. I was just wondering, how do you become a member? Hang on, I'll get the link real quick. What do you think about this? He's just running in the house.
Oh, he knows he's been had because how he presented himself as a judge of the court of the juvenile courts. Yeah, he knows.
Excuse me. All right, say that again. Sorry, I coughed out of the blue. I didn't mean to.
Well, we know the judge is going to run. And what he did on this case, it shows wide open that, he messed up big time. And that's the reason why he's not going to answer any question.
Nope. Judges are judges for a reason because they're supposed to make solid and sound decisions. So when something like this happens, which is terrible, and they're called to the carpet and they have to answer for it, it's really sad when they won't. When they won't even say anything. He knows what he did. He knows he knows. But I guarantee if he ever does talk, it's going to be someone else's fault. Hey guys, we have a bunch of new names in here. Hit the sub button and hit the bell. Get reminded. Let me put that link up again.
No, anyway. No, I tried to help out on some of these cases that you guys are working on. But like I said, I've been working on 3 other strong cases, 2 cold cases, and I've been trying to stay on Summer's case. But I didn't want to bring that up. But I just want to let people know that there are people who are working on other things as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Samantha, for becoming a new member. Thank you. Savage. Yeah, and good on you, Outlaw. Thanks for all your research and everything. Savage. Foster parents get a bad rap. 99% are amazing people. That is true. And that is one thing. A lot of stuff that we see on the news, social media, it's not the everyday norm. So when people think these things happen all the time, it's not. There's a lot of great foster parents, a lot. A lot. Good grandma. I don't support persons going to judges' houses because it's against the law. I didn't think about that. Yeah, we shouldn't just show up at people's houses. And I mean, this reporter, she's going up the driveway. It's one thing if she just would have saw him in the street. Yeah, we've kind of got that going on with some other things in America right now, showing up at judges' houses.
I showed up a few judges' houses, and they didn't have no problem with it.
Were they your friends or what? You there for poker night?
No, because I wanted to. When I was little at one time, I wanted to mow yards, and so I did show up at some of the judges' houses.
Well, hell
To
yeah.
kind of get to know them.
Well, you're mowing the lawn.
Yep.
5 investigates tried to speak with Judge Mark Newman, who made the controversial ruling placing Harmony with her father after hearing from the DCF lawyer, witnesses, and lawyers for Crystal Sorey, Adam Montgomery, and Harmony. The child advocate says Harmony's lawyer, who we spoke with in January, didn't present any evidence of Harmony's vulnerabilities and special needs. The lawyer told us she can't comment.
I guarantee she can't comment. Hello, Erin.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Good, honey. Missed you.
Good. I've been wicked sick. That's why I sound awful.
Are you okay? What's wrong?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm fine now. It was a lot. I had to have surgery. Like, it's been like a month and a half of just chaos. So now I'm getting caught back up at work and I'm still like all over the place, but I'm good. Everything's good.
I'm glad you're doing better. I had no idea you were sick.
Yeah, that's well, you wouldn't. I mean, I'm not like that. I don't announce it to the world kind of thing, but wow. Life hits you quick. That's for sure.
It turns on a dime. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're doing so much better. Marie said not only that, this dollar store is in Berlin. Adam has no connection to Berlin. It's another lie from Crystal. So, are you up to speed on the case, Erin?
Yes, that's what's good about me being sick is I can watch everything. I've been all over this, so I am up to speed. I was like, man, I need to tell Brooks. I hope she's seeing this because I'm seeing it right away on the news here. You know, it's like immediate, and it
takes me like 2 days to catch up with it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I turn on the TV. It's my local station, so it's I can't miss it. But my big shock came when I heard about her telling Adam she's committed forever and behind you all the way kind of stuff through her family. Like this is Kayla. I was just disgusted. Like what?
Yeah. And I'm wondering, did they tell her to say that, hoping that he would talk to her or admit something, or is she truly still in love with him? Because let's not forget, they broke up and he moved into a car with another woman.
I didn't even think of that, but you could be. I've been on medicine. I'm finally off medicine too. So that didn't even occur to me that maybe that's why they didn't, because I'm thinking, isn't that like a breach? Like you can't communicate with the other person she can't, that was part of like her bond or something, that she couldn't communicate in any way, even through a third party with him. So, but they didn't seem to care. Right. And they didn't seem to care that she did. So you're absolutely right. I'm so dumb. That could have been them telling her to say that. Interesting.
Because she certainly, but now see, she messed up before because she had communication with him. But they could be using her to get information out of him. There could be some conversations coming down the pike of, well, remember that day that you dropped me off at Dunkin' Donuts and you said you were taking Harmony with her mother. And when you picked me up, because that's the story, right? That's the one that her mom was told.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you picked me up, where did you go after that? What did you do that day?
I almost wonder if you put yourself, pretend you're her for a minute and you know something really bad and you know that you're going to be implicated if it comes out. I'm telling Teardrop I love him too if that's going to keep him quiet and not rat me out.
Could be. And then I also wonder, because I think, Kayla knows more than she realizes. Okay? I'm going to put it that way. That's
Okay.
the reason the DA said she's not talking because she knows what we're about to find out. Now I go back to Crystal, who considers herself Mother of the Year, yet points blame to everyone but herself, now making up this ridiculous story that she's been interviewing dollar store employees and happened to come across one that saw Harmony, who tells this employee that her name has been changed to Ansley. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, you know that from day one, Crystal's the one I've had more of an issue with. Now, obviously that changed as I found out how Kayla was going to act and all that. But I actually secretly thought, oh, well, Kayla's going to be the key. She's going to spill everything she knows and then whatever. But I have always had an issue with Crystal. Always. I have never, ever seen a mom drop any kind of contact for that length of time. Ever. And I do this every day. Nobody just says, oh, it's cool that we don't talk for a year, 18 months, especially when she doesn't like the dad. She wants to make trouble for him. So she tattles. That's what they do. Trust me. If you have any reason to call and rat that co-parent that you hate out, you're going to. That's the game. This is every day, all day. And so for her not to, oh, here's your Easter basket, but I won't be worried about your birthday or Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of those things. No, that always rubbed me so wrong, unless they terminated her rights 100% and she wasn't allowed to contact her. And that's still, I don't see where that's clear anywhere. I don't think her rights were terminated. I think she lost custody. So maybe not. Maybe they were terminated and they were just going to on the DL like slide this kid around is her story. But I don't know. Brooke. Crystal, I do not trust her. Period.
I don't either, especially since the governor's report called her out for not even returning phone calls to the people trying to find Harmony or help Harmony. At that point, she wasn't missing. I'm going to play this clip again. I want to go through it with you. Lex Luthor. And Ansley is such an uncommon name, like I've never heard of it till Summer Wells' case. How ironic. I think that's odd, too, because Crystal has said herself via Facebook that she is also following the Summer Wells case. Ansley Daniels is the reporter in that, and she just pulls that name out. I don't know. And remember, it wasn't Crystal that supposedly renamed Harmony. It was Adam and Kayla. Anybody in here that knows Kayla, is that a name that she would have picked? I don't know the names of the other children. It's such a made-up story, don't you think, Erin?
Yes. Yes. I think it's been from the beginning with her. I want attention. I just do. I want to be the star. I want to be the hero. I want to all of that. Well, you had an opportunity to be the hero and the star and get clean and get rights to that kid the right way. And you chose not to. And I'm sorry if I sound not very friendly about people with addiction issues, but I'm being serious. I see tons of moms who, when push comes to shove and they know it really is the last chance, they clean it up and they become amazing parents, period. Because if there's one thing that will motivate someone, it is losing their child.
Yeah.
Like that is it. I don't know about you, but there's nothing more that motivates me in this world than my kids. So, and that is true for everyone. And if you have an addiction and someone's looking at you dead in the eye saying, you've had 3 chances, I'm telling you right now, this is your last opportunity. You either fix it or you don't. But you don't come back later and try to be the hero if you didn't fix it and you're no longer involved and you didn't care for 18 months.
And especially pointing the finger at everyone else. He's a violent person. Bitch, you knew that and you let her go with him.
You knew that and had a kid with him. You knew that. Why are you this is another thing that bothers me. Why is she worried about a lawsuit against DCUAF right now? And trust me, I'm sure everyone's thinking, well, it's because you're on team DCUAF. Absolutely not true. I'm not on team DCUAF. I'm on team kids. And the idea that her big thing right now is, let's see if we can get some money out of this. What? I don't give a shit about money. I want to know where my kid is, period. And then, believe me, till the end of time, I will not shut up about who's to blame and blah, 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 and how to somehow get justice and keep my kid alive as much as possible. But right now, I'm not worried about suing or placing blame. I'm cooperating. I'm not coming up with fake dollar store people in Berlin, which is nowhere near Manchester, by the way. Oh my God. Well, I'm back to life, Brooks. You there?
Yes, I'm right here. I didn't mean to mute myself. I'm sorry.
It's
And then,
okay.
of course, she blames. Okay, so Adam. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Fine. But you knew who Teardrop was. You know, you weren't jumping up and down raising hell when he got custody of Harmony or was doing his reunification. Now, he did miss one meeting because of snow, and you said that happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you call and the case manager could miss it, a supervised visit, it could have been me that said, listen, it's too dangerous. Let's reschedule this or let's cancel it.
Mhm.
That happens all the time. That's not a thing that's going to get a parent that's cooperating in trouble, especially in New England. Like, we are land of snow over here. Absolutely not an issue.
So she blames Adam, and of course, the system.
Yeah.
She never takes 1 ounce of accountability. And now we have this new big fat lie that she interviewed a dollar store employee that saw Harmony in early 2020 wanting a Halloween costume. And in the midst of all this, said that they had changed her name to Ansley. I go to the comment on the screen from Melanie. Screen, not scream. Why would they change Harmony's name when receiving benefits under her real name?
That's a great question. I love that question.
Good one, Crystal. Gaelic Girl said, my son is in retail and seasonal stuff is returned to suppliers before Christmas to allow for stock coming in for Christmas. Exactly. And like we were talking about, right after, she said early 2020. Now, mind you, this is Investigator Crystal. Investigator Crystal tells us via her sister, whose eyes looked like dinner plates. She says this is in early 2020. Okay, we all know because we all roll our eyes when we walk into a store and it's like, my goodness, we just put away the Christmas tree and they've already got Halloween stuff out. Not Halloween, sorry, Valentine's Day stuff out.
Yep.
I mean, they're putting out, you know, the chocolates and stuff, Valentine's cards. They don't, not Halloween. Not Halloween. Come on. All right, so I'm going to play this clip real quick, and I want to know your thoughts on this, Aaron.
Okay.
Report from the child advocate blasts Harmony's legal representation and the decision to award custody to her father without an interstate agreement in place.
Our Kathy Curran has been digging into the failures of this case for months. She joins us live right now, Kat.
And Ed and Maria, the child advocate found Harmony's safety and complex needs weren't prioritized in this case. She faults Harmony's lawyer, the DCF lawyer, and the decision by Judge Newman to rule on the case without having that interstate compact for putting Harmony at risk.
It's deeply, deeply troubling.
Child welfare advocate Maureen Flatley is frustrated at the continuing failures putting children at risk. Harmony Montgomery has been missing for more than 2 years. She spent most of her life in the custody of the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families. But in 2019, her father, Adam, a man with a criminal past who was living in New Hampshire, was granted custody.
The fact that anybody decided that it was a good idea to try to send her to the father was completely irresponsible.
The investigation by the Office of the Child Advocate cited multiple failures by the lawyers and judge involved in the case. Judge Newman. Months ago, 5 investigators tried to speak with Judge Mark Newman, who made the controversial ruling placing Harmony with her father after hearing from the DCF lawyer, witnesses, and lawyers for Crystal Sorey, Adam Montgomery, and Harmony. The child.
Pausing it right there. Okay. Lawyers for Crystal Adam and Harmony. If Crystal had lost all rights, would she actually be in the ring at all?
Well, that depends because it's not, no one's saying family lawyer. If
Oh.
you're a lawyer representing her to get money against DCYF, that's like a civil case, right? That's not necessarily family law. It's not a custodial issue. It's a like administrative law type of issue, like policy.
But
So
they're saying in this case of him getting custody of Harmony, Crystal had a lawyer.
everyone would have a lawyer in a case like that. Yeah, no, that's
even
typical.
if you've lost your rights. That's what I'm looking at. Did Crystal have rights to her? Because why would her hat be in the ring if she already had no rights?
That's why I think she still had rights. I just think she lost custodial and legal rights. So you can lose your custodial rights, meaning your kid lives with you, and your legal rights, meaning you get to make decisions about like where they go to school, whether or not they're going to get vaccinated, whatever. Legal choices around your kid, which we all make all the time. You may not even realize we're doing it, but filling out the paperwork for the first day of school and deciding whether or not your kid can be on social media, that's a legal right as a parent. But not have your rights yet terminated. So my guess is that that's where she was, in that spot. And there's always a space there between, you don't have physical custody, you don't have legal rights. However, you still have the option for supervised visitations. If she didn't go to that, those visitations would be stopped, and then they would move to terminate all rights. But there's a period of a year before you can absolutely terminate all rights permanently forever. Now, the fact that her brother, Harmony's brother, was available for adoption makes me wonder, because generally this is done at the same time, but where there's two different fathers, and I would assume that the other father of the boy wasn't contesting anything, it could have slowed Harmony's down because they had to factor in Adam, where with I'm imagining the dad was either not interested or already signed off, didn't want rights, something like that. That could have made her brother go quicker. Obviously, she lost all rights to him.
So like you said, it's normally done together.
Yeah,
So,
normally. But
normally
there's the same father too. I mean, not normally, but more often than not, it's the same two parents. So when there is like two different fathers or two different mothers, whatever the case might be, but that can make like it's not usually a lot. It's like 3 months difference, 6 months difference. But normally whatever happens with kid A is going to be the outcome for kid B. Unless, and this is where I get frustrated with the family, somebody in Harmony's family stepped up, an aunt, a whatever, grandma, and said, I will take custody.
But they didn't.
No, they didn't. So why are you on the news either?
Yeah, why is the aunt on there? We just want to find her as she pokes her head out of the apartment with, eyes that look like saucers. We just want to find her and bring her home. And I'm like, but you didn't before. You heard the news report. She has spent most of her life in the custody of the system.
Okay, but I'm not sticking up. You're not going to like this, but I'm going to tell you.
That's okay. No, I want to hear it, girlfriend.
Look, Adam has rights before the aunt, all right? So if Adam said, I want him,
right.
DCYF and the judge screw up and says, well, you get him, get her. That's it. Nobody was offered Harmony. Nobody had an opportunity in Crystal's family to stand up and say, we'll do it. No one was given that choice. Whether that aunt would have done it or not, we'll never know. She wasn't asked. And the reason she wasn't asked is dad wanted her. So right there, it goes parents, supposedly equal. More often than not, it's the mom, let's be honest, but equal. Mom and dad have equal rights, right? They make a placement. If mom or dad don't want or cannot take care of kid, they say, okay, let's look for, it's called a relative placement. Now they're going to say, Crystal, who do you have in your family that's sober and appropriate? Adam, who do you have in your family that's sober and appropriate? Now they're going to go and do a home study and look at the 3 potential options and try to put her into a relative placement. Now, here's, again, I'm going to look at the brother. My guess is, so there's no dad with the brother, or he's not in the picture, right? A relative placement would have been offered on the brother. there is no relative placement there. He was adopted out of the family. So my guess is that even if Harmony had been able to get a relative placement, that there wouldn't have been somebody suitable, simply because nobody stepped up for the brother.
Okay, now that makes perfect sense. I mean, because obviously children are not dogs. You can't
Right.
just say, hey, can you watch my, take care of my dog? I can't
Right,
take
you
care of
can't
it
just
anymore.
right.
No.
Right.
But I'm just wondering, when Harmony and Jameson went to foster care, why between Crystal's family, Adam's family, Jameson's father's family, all the people that claim to care now, they couldn't find one suitable place for the children to live. Hence why now Jameson, he's fine. He's been adopted by two amazing men, and he's going to thrive and be fine.
Right.
But Harmony, it didn't happen for her like that.
Right. The fact that they were in foster care makes me think that they may have started looking into a relative placement. Sometimes foster care isn't a long-term thing. It's okay, we need time because there's, 4 different people we need to interview. It's the middle of a pandemic, whatever the reason. And so for 2 weeks, they're going to go to this licensed, approved, we know them, great foster home, and they're going to be there, and you're going to have visits or whatever the case plan is. And then meantime, we're going to look at a good relative placement. And that happens when we're not sure, Sometimes we know the family because we tend to deal with the same families over and over again. So we'll know, okay, grandma is great. Grandma will step in. Grandma worked out great last time, that kind of thing. But in a family where you don't have that history of knowing where do we put this kid, or maybe the foster home that they weren't at last time and did great at doesn't have any openings right now. You sometimes need to stall a little bit, and they go into a foster home for 2 weeks, and then they go to a relative. If we're not sure, because we don't know, is that sister safe or not? But my guess is where they were both in foster care, that probably nobody stepped up, nobody was asked, none of that, simply because Adam wanted her, and then there was nobody stepping up for what, Jameson, is that his name? I don't.
Jameson, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But he was adopted. It's a lawyer in DC and a meteorologist in Boston.
Were they his foster parents?
No, they adopted him from foster care.
Oh, well, I just love that. I'm glad. That's awesome.
I do too. And they've adopted other children. And really, I mean, Mama Kay in here said it. She goes, I think Jameson is the one that reported Harmony. I mean, not physically on the phone, but he was crying out for Harmony so much that the foster fathers kept trying to reach out and find Adam so they could have play dates with Harmony and Jameson. Well, you can't get a hold of Teardrop, so they get a hold of Crystal. So Crystal is like, oh, okay. Now, according to her, she's done everything since 2019, but we know different from the governor's report.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Look, you should have called the cops. I mean, she's saying that she made all these reports, but that obviously wasn't true. So I wonder why it is that the police aren't looking at her.
They might be.
Yeah, maybe. I know.
They got to have something to arrest her on. It was easy to find something for Adam and Kayla to keep them and, hold them until they talk or whatever they decide to do. They might not have anything.
Well,
so Savage said a lot of times their homes were not appropriate for some reason or another. So when you do a home study, how do you decide what an appropriate home is or not?
Okay, so the state, at least in New Hampshire, which, I'm assuming Mass is similar. In the state of New Hampshire, we have a thing called minimum standard of care. So that means that there are certain requirements that need to be met. We need to know that there's a roof over this kid's head. We need to know that there's a heat source. That could be a generator. The minimum standard of care would make you scream. I told you the story about the girl with the tarp for a front door. So that's, that's how it is. So there has to be.
And there's nothing you can do about that. These are the laws.
Nothing. I have to literally go visit the house with the tarp. I have to literally bring bed bug and flea stuff to try to fix the situation. That you guys would be shocked at what those standards are. But basically, there is a certain checklist of things. And what really pisses me off is to get licensed as a foster home. It's a whole different thing. you better have your act together. You have to have fire extinguishers, fire alarms, carbon monoxide. I mean, the stuff they make foster parents do, but the parents forget about it. If you got a good tarp and a great Mr. Buddy heater, you're good to go. And that is not okay because it's the same kid. And you're saying if you're a foster parent who's in most cases doing this out of the goodness of their heart for the right reasons, they have to meet all these wild standards that I don't know about you, but I didn't have a fire extinguisher in every room of like just stuff that I would never do as a parent myself. But yet, as the biological parent, you barely have to do anything. When I show up for a home visit, it's scheduled. There is definitely going to be food in that house. There is. And if there isn't, I'm going to say, well, how do you plan to do food? Oh, well, we go to the food pantry on Thursdays and it's Wednesday, but tomorrow there'll be food. I have to check that they have a plan for food.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not like you walk in. People are so afraid of DCYF, and it is not easy to take a kid out of a home. It's just not. Biological parents are given the benefit of the doubt so much more than I personally think they should be.
We have another case we've been talking about. I'm getting off subject, but Nikki Rule, that was kidnapped by his own mother, he's been living with his grandmother since he was under a year old. He's 4 now.
Yep.
Easter Sunday, she went, I don't know if you saw the show because I've had the grandmother on several times, and she is having all kinds of problems getting him back from the mother. But like you said, biological parents are given the benefit of the doubt.
Well, did grandma, that sounds to me like, and I'd love to talk to her, but that sounds to me like she didn't have legal anything. Like mom just dropped the kid off. The kid's been living with grandma and way to go. But like there's been no court. If the court had ruled that grandma has custody, that shouldn't be hard to get him back, period.
Yeah, we'll set up a call and talk to her because it's just been a mess and I feel terrible for her.
She needs to get into that court.
She has a new lawyer and everything, and I'll fill you in on it after the show, but it makes me sick what she's having to go through. But I mean, she's not the mom, she's the grandma,
Right. But remember, when we do that chain, we go mom and dad were supposed to be equal, like I said. Okay, so mom and dad, then we go relative placement, which means the next layer is grandparents or aunts and uncles. So she's up there. She's not like some family friend that really likes this kid that knew him from the neighborhood. Right. So that's good to be grandma in this, especially if she's got an established history of, look, I've raised him. I'm the one who's, been here. I don't know this case though. So, I'm just talking in general terms.
Well, I'll email you some links and stuff and we can go through it because it's crazy. And then we have this case, and between Crystal, Kayla, and Adam, I don't know where to go. We know Adam's a terrible dude.
Yep.
We know Kayla I'm not saying that she did anything to Harmony, but she's got some knowledge or something she's not volunteering to the authorities. And then Crystal, who wants to be the hero, making up lies, spinning the narrative, and that pisses me off more than anything. Because, I mean, not as much as Teardrop. They're wasting resources on her lies instead of finding Harmony.
Well, why, if she interviewed someone at the dollar store, why did she get on the news instead of call the police?
Oh, her sister got on the news. Have you seen the clip?
I vaguely saw it. I was literally post-surgery, so I was like out of it. But yeah, I did, because I was like, is that her? Wait, she looks different. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's her sister. That's about all I remember.
Yeah, interviewing employees at the dollar store.
Right.
About shit, and fell back in it when I heard the story. I was like, oh, Crystal.
Dude.
Come on. All right, I'm going to get through the rest of this clip. Hang on.
Yep.
advocate says Harmony's lawyer, who we spoke with in January, didn't present any evidence of Harmony's vulnerabilities and special needs. The lawyer told us she can't comment.
That the notion that we would just depend on the quote unquote wishes of a 4-year-old when you know that what the child is asking for is likely to be dangerous, we've got to rethink this.
Harmony's lawyer works for the Committee for Public Counsel Services.
All right, so she's making it sound like Harmony wanted to go with her dad, and she's like, we can't leave it with the wishes of what a 4-year-old wants. Is that what she's saying?
That sounds like it, but that's Massachusetts because we don't do it like that.
Right.
It's done very differently here, and no 4-year-old would be asked. They would be assigned a guardian ad litem, and the guardian ad litem would visit Adam, visit Crystal. They'd be very enmeshed in the case, and they would make a placement recommendation. So we wouldn't say, I mean, we might ask, but 4 is young. I wouldn't ask 4. It would be obvious to me with a 4-year-old. If I saw Harmony with mom and saw Harmony with dad and saw that she was, running up to dad all excited and then, didn't even want to talk to mom, that would tell me enough as a 4-year-old, a 4-year-old. But in this case, I don't think Crystal was even going to visit. So there was nothing to judge in that way. And here it wouldn't be up to me. It would be up to the guardian ad litem to make that recommendation.
And also in this case, Harmony could not have possibly been excited because she's 4. She had no memory of Crystal or Adam because unless it's from her visits at the jail with her dad, she didn't have any memory of them because she had been in the state's custody in foster care most of her life.
Well, I don't know if it was you or someone else I told this to, but you've got to understand what a jail visit is like for a kid. Jail visits are super fun. This is fun. Dad doesn't discipline me. Dad's not mean to me. Dad plays with me for hours on end. I pick up a kid. I bring them to the jail. Everyone thinks, oh, that's awful. The kid's visiting a parent in jail. When they're 4, they don't understand it's a jail. They go there and the same kids are there because there's only so many visiting hours. They literally form friendships with the other kids who are visiting their dads in jail. The dads are super fun because they're being watched by guards. The dads are super engaged because they're being watched by family therapists who are literally writing down notes about their whatever, whether or not they're suitable as a parent. The dad is on best behavior like you've never seen. Mm-hmm. So if she was, say, from the age of 2 to 4, seeing him once a week at the New Hampshire State Prison, which I guess he was in Mass, but whatever, you might be surprised how she'd run to him.
Mm-hmm.
And want to be
that makes sense because like you said, and she's bonding with someone. This is your dad.
Yep.
And so she now has a bond. Whereas she's not a foster child, she has a bond. This is my dad.
Yeah, and in the car, I'm saying to her, Harmony, this is going to be so fun. We're going to go see your dad. Did you make him a picture? Hey, Harmony, let's draw a picture for your dad. Like, I'm hyping this because my goal is to reunify them and make this a healthy, great relationship, to teach him, oh, wow, what a beautiful picture you made for me. Thank you. Like these basic things that we automatically do that maybe are skills that the parent needs or things that will help them to bond. Remember, my goal as DCUAF, I know everyone thinks our goal is to come in there and rip kids out of homes. Our goal is to reunify always, if possible.
Reunify and counsel the parents to do better.
Yeah, and to teach them how to parent, to give them resources, to say, look, you may relapse. And instead of lying to me and dodging me and not returning my calls, one phone call that says, I relapsed, I need a break, I will literally help you get into rehab. I will help you extend your custody case so that it doesn't hurt you. Because we want to reward that transparency and honesty. We understand that getting through addiction is not easy. But it's those parents that dodge us and don't call back and do the stuff that the report said Crystal did. It doesn't surprise me that she would have lost rights.
Right. Now, in a case like that, what do you do when they call you? And I know you've had these calls and they're like, look, I relapsed. I can't do this. What do you do?
Well, it depends on what they mean by I can't do this. I can't do this right now. I've got to go get help again, or I can't do this, period. Because that's two different things. There are parents that have said to me, I can't do this, period. And I will say, do you want me to initiate a termination? And that means that we're going to initiate the termination of rights, and you're working with us. So you're going to help us. Like, you're going to help us identify people for a relative placement. Maybe you have a sister that worships your kid. You want to still be in your kid's life. You're being honest with us. You're working with us. Okay, let's get your sister custody of your kid. That's one thing we might do. If they say, I can't handle this for 2 weeks, the child could be put into a respite foster situation. The child could be put into a temporary relative placement that's a lot less formal. Okay, let's make a safety plan. Let's bring kid to grandma's house for 2 weeks, and we're still going to meet every week. We're still going to work on parenting skills. We're going to, put more resources at your recovery, that kind of thing. So it just depends on the case and what they mean by I can't do this, because people will call and say, I cannot do this, period. But that doesn't mean that's what they mean. I mean, you and I know that, screw it, I'm not doing this, or I quit. But then the next day you wake up and you're feeling better. So, I mean, they're human, and that could be all it is. So you do form a very close relationship with these guys, no matter what it looks like, whether for good or bad. And so you're always following up, and where are you at today? How's it going today? Most of our clients are in some sort of therapy or counseling, and that kind of stuff. So nothing is like quick. Remember, the courts are involved. There's a lot of talking in between. And that's one of the reasons I have such an issue with Crystal is I know how much goes into giving a parent chances. And if she had a relationship, because she had been engaged in all of this with her case manager, that case manager, one phone call, look, it's 4th of July. I haven't talked to Harmony since Easter. That case manager would have been all over this, all over it, because the case manager is bonded with Harmony too.
And everything she said almost was disputed in the governor's report.
Yeah, I know.
You like how she put all that stuff all over her Facebook page, and next thing you know, she deletes it all?
Yeah, I know. I don't know who the lawyer, I mean, the lawyer representing her, maybe that's why the sister went on to tell about the dollar store, not her. Because I would imagine he said to her, don't do this, don't talk. I don't know.
The thing is, the lawsuit hasn't been filed yet, so I'm actually curious as to what's going on with that, because I have an issue with her getting one dime. There will be a monetary compensation, but it needs to go to Jameson, not her, because she's part of the problem.
Or if not Jameson, why don't you put it back at kids to fix the system, at legislation, like at something huge. I mean, New Hampshire just initiated some kind of legislation yesterday. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
It was like a 2-second clip on WMUR. But basically that there is some kind of legislation going into the House that makes it so that this interstate compact thing is like required. I don't know. I literally, it was like 2-second blurb. They weren't specific, but it went, the bill or the whatever, I don't know what it would be called, but was written up yesterday. So it was on the news. If you look on WMUR, you'll see, or I can find that link. I mean, I saw it on YouTube. So just a clip of WMUR. Whenever I see Harmony's name, I click. So.
Yep, it's insane. The whole thing is insane. In the middle of it all is the children,
Yeah.
And your hands are tied.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, all we can do is what we're told to do.
And what the law allows. You're not Batman. You're not Minority Report. You can't go door to door and say, hey, are you taking care of your kids? Just check in. I'll be back tomorrow to make sure you're taking care of your kids.
Well, we can do that. And I do that. So, but I don't.
Oh, never mind. You are Batman.
Well, I don't know about Batman, but I've shown up at 2 a.m. and said, excuse me, why are we having a party? What's happening here? So yeah, we can do that. It's called an ISO, intensive service option, and there are some clients that need literally 20 hours a week. So you become family. I mean, you are grocery shopping together, you're eating meals together, and you fall in love with their kids, and man, you take it to heart. This becomes personal. My ISO cases are those kids, they might as well be my own. I mean, you go into every IEP meeting, you're doing all of that. So yeah, there actually are cases where we show up, see you tomorrow, and you don't tell them what time. And that's kind of where we get the reputation of being evil monsters that show up and bust you. But I'm not doing that unless I have a reason to.
I actually don't think you guys are evil monsters at all. I think that there's a lot more stuff that you guys could do if the law allowed.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you could be like, no, I'm putting my foot down.
Yep.
There's no more of this. There's no more of this. You know, if the foster family has to have a fire extinguisher in every room and a trip to the grocery store every week, you will too. I'm going to hold you as accountable as the foster family is held.
Yeah, that's blown my mind always. I mean, I've seen awesome potential foster parents not get licensed, or only get licensed for one kid when they really could take 3 and they have the space for it, over stupid things like code. Like, well, that bedroom's not big enough, or we don't like the stairs right there. Are you kidding me? I've got a kid in the woods and you don't like their colonial. I'm sorry. Say that again. Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I'm serious. And that is so, again, another problem with the system. It's not the same people making that decision. So you've got one group overseeing, like, okay, what is the requirement for foster care, foster parents? That's this old, outdated paperwork we have to follow, right? And then what is the requirement for parents? Whole nother group making those rules. And because everybody's got to be all tiptoey around biological parents, they don't have real rules. I mean, the rules that they have are not okay. They're just not.
And now we're talking about fire extinguishers and how it's required in foster homes. I'm thinking about our house. I'm like, we don't have a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, you're not suitable. Absolutely not. Nope, ruled out. That's what it's like.
Not to mention my fire alarm, the batteries went out and it kept chirping all the time, and it's still sitting on the bureau. And so that's a problem right there, because I haven't gone to buy a new 9-volt to put it back up.
No, yeah, that exactly. My fire thing, because I am a terrible cook, and the way that the vent thing is set up, the steam from spaghetti will set it off. So that thing's ripped right out of the wall. That disqualifies me too.
That's what happened here. We have a question from chat for you if you have a second. I know I'm keeping you guys too long, but we're having fun. Melanie says, Aaron, what would be procedure if a parent duped the system and took off with the child? Thank you in advance.
Well, dupe the system. So that's the exact problem we're having with Harmony. So you mean we have a kid in foster care, we're doing a treatment plan, we think things are going well. I show up to the house to do, parenting and help them with a budget today. Okay, that's a typical thing we would do, right? It's part of their case plan. They're not good at money. They've got to come up with a budget, or maybe they're working on subsidized housing, whatever the goal is. Every week we leave them with a homework assignment, like you've got to apply for 6 jobs, something like that. And then I come back the next week and, okay, where are you at on your jobs? Like that. So I show up and the mom has not only not applied for her jobs or subsidized housing, but she's nowhere to be found. In that case, I have to go to a direct supervisor, because I'm not, the buck doesn't end with me. And the direct supervisor reports that to the case manager at DCYF. So now DCYF is aware that this kid is missing. Again, this obviously didn't happen in the Harmony case because you switch states in the middle of this. In New Hampshire, if the kid had always been in New Hampshire and this kid is missing, we are going to now get the CASA, which is the guardian ad litem, DCUF's attorney, and probably, it depends on exactly what the circumstances are, go to court and get some kind of order for the state to take custody. At that point, we have cut, and that would be ex parte because parent is missing. So now it's like basically a missing persons type. It depends on the circumstance too, guys. Like, is this like a parent that like, am I calling? They've called and said, I'm just sick of it. I don't want to do it. I went to New York with my mother, and they're answering me, or are they literally not answering me? I mean, that's different. If they're in New York, guess what? They're in New York, like with Harmony. So now we got to notify New York, but I don't know where it goes from there. Once it leaves New Hampshire, I can't do anything. All I can say is, excuse me, this kid is assuming the parent had custody. It's different if the parent didn't have custody. That's kidnapping. But if the parent had custody, Adam had custody. No one could say you can't go to New Hampshire. He had every right to go to New Hampshire. And that's the problem. Because once he got to New Hampshire drops the ball. I mean, obviously the judge dropped the ball for giving it to Adam in the first place. But in Adam's, he was allowed to take her to New Hampshire and start a new life. It's not going to be him that calls Sisu up and says, hey, I'm here. Please come check me out. No way. So I guess I need more on that question. Did this parent have custody and decided to go to New York and just take off? Or did we have custody and it was like a home? A lot of times when we're transitioning back, state will still have custody, but the kid's staying overnight. If the parent disappeared, then that's a problem because we have custody, not you. So that's kidnapping. So now you got police involved. Am I answering that, Brooks?
Yep. Perfectly. Okay. Actually, perfectly.
Yep. All right, cool.
I'm going to go back to the clip and then we're going to discuss for a minute until the next show, Kayla, who just got out of jail. I'm sure that blew your mind.
That woke me up. Yep.
That woke me up. Me too. When I got that message from Lone Wolf, I said, what the F?
Yeah.
In a statement, they criticized the report, saying our job is to pursue the objectives of our clients and that the OCA's recommendations disregard the constitutional rights of children and parents. The child advocate also faults Judge Newman for relying on New Hampshire law and not requiring an interstate compact in Harmony's case, which is commonly used when children are being placed in a home across state lines. The agreement would have triggered New Hampshire's child welfare system to ensure the home and Adam Montgomery would be able to meet Harmony's needs and make sure she was monitored and safe.
In this case, Harmony's best interests were completely subservient to what the adults wanted to do.
And the child advocate also says the DCF attorney didn't present strong evidence to oppose placing Harmony with her father or argue in favor of that interstate compact. The trial court tells us it's reviewing the case and will make changes if needed. No comment from Judge Newman. Kathy Carton, 5 Investigates.
He's not gonna comment.
He's retired. He is going to pretend this didn't happen.
He's not going to comment.
No.
So Kayla got out with conditions. $5,000. They granted bail, so I'm assuming that's the 10%. I don't know for sure. Someone hawked up $500 to get her out. She's got to go to the Manchester police station every day. I'm assuming drug tests are involved. She's got to get substance abuse help, which is on the taxpayers of New Hampshire. What do you think's going on? I think she actually started talking because she didn't sit that, or she sat there long enough to pay off her $1,500 she owes the state for welfare fraud.
I don't know. Did you hear her attorney's argument?
I did. Go ahead. Tell me again. I'm gonna brace myself. Every time I hear it, I get mad, but go ahead.
I mean, you can get mad, but it's kind of fair. Look, it's welfare fraud that normally is community service. How long can you hold her, even if she's just sitting there and won't budge?
Right.
I don't believe, and maybe look, guys, this is just opinion. I'm not anybody different than you guys. It's just an opinion, but I feel like they don't have information on Kayla because then they would make another charge to keep her in there. But you can't just keep her in there forever just because you feel like she's suspicious.
No, and we talked in an earlier show because I spoke with a DH worker in Oklahoma, and they said this happens often.
Right.
People do not report changes in the household. Now, it looks like what she did was straight out fraud. She knew that Harmony was not with her from November of 2019 until June of 2021. But she said the problem in Oklahoma, I don't know about New Hampshire, she said if we press charges, we have to take benefits from the whole family. We don't want to do that. We give them 6 months to repay it, whether it's through community service or they pay it back. And then they're told, look, anything that changes in that house, you get a new phone number, you get a different job, someone moves out, someone moves in, then we've got another problem.
Right.
So she said, this is different. They're holding this over her head because they believe she knows something. The DA in Manchester said she's not talking because she knows we're going to find out. So yeah, the defense attorney was 100% correct. What he's not lumping this in with is what the DA is doing, which is he believes she knows something.
Well, we all believe she knows something, but if they don't have anything tangible,
right,
how long can they keep her there? I mean, I don't want her out. I really don't. But I don't see how it's okay to hold someone for 4 to 5 months on a charge like that.
No, and it very, very rarely happens.
Right.
There's got to be some other reason. But there's also the gun charges that ties her in because she's complicit with Adam in that.
Right. See, I want the gun charges to be why she's there, not the welfare stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. Maybe they think here's another one. Maybe they think if she's out, she'll talk. She'll tell grandmath or something.
That's what I'm thinking too. They're like, yeah, go ahead. Someone's got $500. Hey, let her out. You're right. Not right to keep her in here for welfare fraud. I mean, hey, what, okay,
let's
fine.
see. Let's see where she goes.
She's got to talk to somebody. Obviously, she's not going to talk to us. She's had every opportunity. Let's see who she talks to. She's being tailed everywhere, by the way.
Right. Let's see if she tries to get a hold of Adam. Let's see if she goes somewhere interesting that we've never thought about before. Let's see who she talks to, how she acts, what she does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe they need her out in order to get more information. They're just at a I don't know. I don't know why.
She will talk to someone and she's going to go back to partying too.
Right. But I have to be honest. I think that even though it pisses us off, a defense attorney had a great argument. I just did. I was like, man, I mean, it's true. You can't just leave. What are you going to do? Give her the death penalty because she won't talk? Like, she does have rights, and she has a right to not talk, even though we hate it.
No, the Fifth Amendment, everyone should use it. I don't need to talk to you. It's not your business. I mean, we have a lot of people that, in this community that aren't from America, and they're like, well, I mean, how can you just not talk to the police? Easy.
Right.
Get a warrant. I've never been in that situation, but I mean, if I was, I'd be like, nah, not today. But no, you're right. I mean, you shouldn't just keep someone locked up because you think they might have done something, but she did commit welfare fraud.
Right.
She did. And now we have the gun charges, and the DA is, I mean, he's like a dog with a bone with this. He already said she won't talk to us because she knows we're going to find out.
Yeah.
So they killed her on what's really a flimsy charge. The gun charge, I would rather her be held with because she definitely worked side by side with Adam on that. Yeah. So in that, I want to know somewhere along the way, she has to have some sort of knowledge of what happened to Harmony. It's not like Harmony disappeared and they never had a discussion about it.
Or what if Harmony disappeared because Adam said, I'm taking her to Crystal. And then she's like, what am I supposed to do here? The welfare people want me to renew. Whatever. Crystal's not going to tell that she has her. She doesn't have custody. Just claim her.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me questions. Whack.
Yeah. And a lot of people in here have been saying, what if he truly did take her to Crystal?
Well, I mean, Crystal doesn't give me warm fuzzies these days, so I don't rule anything out. Yeah.
No, it gets more complicated and crazy every day. But I really appreciate you coming on panel. I mean, anytime you want, love hearing from you. You are just awesome. And you know your stuff.
Well, I try. That's my job.
And this case it's got to be turning your state upside down. I mean, it has. I mean, the governor had to get involved.
Yeah, there are like billboards and all kinds of everything all over the place up here.
And there
So,
Teardrop sits with nothing to say.
yeah, I just want this over. I want to know what happened and somebody to pay for it. Like, what the hell?
Mhm.
And I hope that she, obviously I don't think it's realistic, but maybe she's okay somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. But come home to a family that loves you and is safe. Get out of here, Aunt. Get out of here.
Get
How
out
about
of here,
this?
Aunt, and your
I'll
dollar
do a
store
relative. Watch my
employee.
relative placement. What about those guys? I want to know. Hey, Jameson needs a sister. He's a relative. Do you guys mind? You have room for one more? That's what I want for a placement.
Me too, because those men would take her in a heartbeat.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man,
Yeah.
there's where you go with it. But again, it's not up to me.
If it was up to all of us, things would be a lot different, right?
Yep.
All right, my friend. I'm going to email you right after this about another case we can
Okay.
discuss, and I can get you in touch with that grandmother when you have time.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, thank you, Brooks. It's nice to be back.
I am so glad you're back, and I'm so glad. I didn't even know you were sick, but I'm glad you're doing better.
Yep. Much better. Thank God.
All right. I'll talk to you right after this.
All right. Bye, guys.
Big round of applause for Erin. I love when she comes up. I mean, not only does she professionally understand what goes on behind the scenes with the child protection system, she's just also a super person and friend. Love having her up. Love having her up. Love having you guys here every day. We had 2 good shows today. We got 2 shows tomorrow. Tell you what, it's getting crazy. So, Mod Squad, thank you for everything you do. I can't thank you guys enough. I don't know how to thank you enough. And to the rest of you who are a big squad too, you're the best chat and best community on YouTube. I'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. In the meantime, come see me on Facebook or in Discord. Bye-bye.